Troy Donahue, a shining icon of Hollywood's golden era, was the ultimate heartthrob of the 1950s and 60s. With his striking blonde hair, piercing blue eyes, and undeniable charisma, he captured the imagination of audiences around the world. But behind the glamour and fame lay a story of ambition, downfall, resilience, and redemption. This is the remarkable journey of the man born as Merle Johnson Jr., who would forever be remembered as Troy Donahue. Born in New York City on January 27, 1936, Merle Johnson Jr. was destined for a life touched by Hollywood. His father worked as an executive in the motion picture division of General Motors, while his mother dreamed of becoming an actress. Their world introduced young Merle to the entertainment industry early, planting the seeds of his artistic ambitions. Although he initially pursued journalism at Columbia University, acting soon overshadowed everything else in his life. He abandoned academics to chase the stage, a choice that would define his destiny. From the start, Donahue's good looks set him apart. His sun-kissed hair, deep blue eyes, and all-American appeal made him the perfect embodiment of Hollywood romance. He soon became the face of youthful love stories, starring in melodramatic films such as A Summer Place, 1959, and Parish, 1961. His presence on screen radiated emotion and charm, cementing his status as the leading man teenage audiences idolized. Ironically, his parents were not supportive of his acting dream. They envisioned stability for their son in fields like law or medicine. To appease them, he enrolled at the New York Military Academy, where he crossed paths with a young Francis Ford Coppola. For a while, he considered West Point, but a knee injury ended any chance of a military career. Attempts to enlist in the Army also failed. Rather than breaking him, these setbacks pushed him further toward acting. Determined, he pursued theater and screen tests, slowly carving his way into Hollywood. His early journey was anything but smooth. He worked in summer stock theaters and endured false starts before landing a screen test with director James Sheldon. Though it didn't immediately open doors, fate intervened after a near-fatal car crash left him miraculously alive. Shortly afterward, he caught the eye of Henry Wilson, the powerful agent behind several rising male stars. Wilson believed Merle Johnson needed reinvention. He gave him the name Troy Donahue, a name that exuded movie star magnetism. In 1956, Donahue signed with Universal Studios, marking the official start of his career. His first roles were small and often uncredited, but his persistence soon paid off. By 1958, his television appearances showcased his charm and talent, giving him the momentum he desperately needed. In 1959, his life changed forever when Warner Brothers signed him and cast him in A Summer Place. His role opposite Sandra Dee catapulted him into stardom. Audiences adored him, and Warner Brothers capitalized on his image, casting him in film after film. By 1960, he had become a household name, and his lead role in Surfside 6 sealed his place in pop culture. At the height of his fame, Donahue received up to 7,500 fan letters a week. He was no longer just an actor, he was an icon. But Hollywood is fickle. Surfside 6 was canceled, and though Warner kept him busy with projects like Hawaiian Eye, his career slowly began losing its edge. Attempts to expand into music faltered, and by the late 1960s, Hollywood's tastes were changing. Donahue, once the face of innocence and romance, struggled to find roles. He signed with Universal in 1968, but within a year his contract collapsed. As his career waned, so did his finances. Lavish spending and poor money management left him bankrupt, forcing him to abandon the luxuries he once enjoyed. Behind the scenes, his life was spiraling further. Donahue admitted later that his addictions to alcohol and drugs began at the height of his fame and worsened during his decline. Days once dedicated to film sets turned into endless hazes of intoxication. Acting offers dried up, and he was left clinging to small roles or odd jobs just to survive. His glamorous life faded into the reality of a modest apartment and personal isolation. Still, flashes of recognition remained. In 1974, he appeared briefly in The Godfather Part II, credited under his birth name as Merle Johnson, playing Connie Corleone's doomed fiancé. Though small, the role was symbolic, a nod to his fading stardom. Yet it wasn't enough to reignite his career. By the early 1980s, Donahue had hit rock bottom. He had lost his wealth, his marriages had failed, and his health was deteriorating. But in 1981, he chose to change. He sought help, joined Alcoholics Anonymous in 1982, and began the slow, painful journey to sobriety. Unlike many stars, he was brutally honest about his fall from grace, openly discussing his mistakes and struggles. Sobriety allowed him to return to acting, even if only in smaller roles. Though he never regained his superstar status, he found peace and gratitude in the life he rebuilt. His return wasn't just professional, it was humanitarian. In 1985, Donahue hosted a telethon in Palm Springs to raise money for victims of the devastating Mexico City earthquake, proving that his influence could still be used for good. He later appeared in John Waters' Crybaby 1990, a nostalgic nod to his teen idol past, and toured with Bye Bye Birdie in 1997. In 1998, he reunited with Sandra Dee at a special screening of A Summer Place, delighting fans with a glimpse of their timeless chemistry. His later years were filled with modest but meaningful work, including cruises where he taught acting seminars and shared his industry knowledge. His final film role came in 2000 with The Boys Behind the Desk, closing the curtain on a career that had spanned decades. While his professional life defined much of his story, Donahue's personal life was equally turbulent. A string of relationships and marriages made headlines, often marked by jealousy, infidelity, or domestic disputes. He was married 4 times, to Susan Pleshette, Valerie Allen, Alma Sharp, and Vicky Taylor, but none lasted. Later, he found stability with mezzo-soprano Jane Kao, with whom he shared a quieter life in Santa Monica. But tragedy struck in 2001. On August 30, Donahue suffered a heart attack and was rushed to St. John's Health Center in Santa Monica. An emergency angioplasty seemed successful at first, but he soon suffered a second heart attack. After bypass surgery, his condition remained critical. On September 2, 2001, Troy Donahue passed away at the age of 65. Troy Donahue's story is one of dazzling highs and crushing lows. He was the perfect Hollywood heartthrob, adored by millions, yet tormented by personal demons that nearly destroyed him. His life reflected both the seductive allure and the brutal cost of fame. Though his star faded, his impact never disappeared. He remains remembered as a teen idol, a survivor, and ultimately a man who found redemption in his final years. Rest in peace, Troy Donahue. You will always be remembered.